Now that we've got to grips with making a basic recording of the sound of our keyboard, we're going to move on to look at MIDI. So what I want to do here is give you a quick recap of what it is and what it can do for you, and the basics of how to use your keyboard as a MIDI controller. MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface, but what does that mean in everyday speak? Well, it is a protocol for instruments and software to talk to each other. And the good news is it is standard across all brands and manufacturers, so whatever bits of kit that you buy, you can hook them together and use keyboards to control any MIDI software, and you can play back from your software to MIDI devices with sound and so on. So far we've been recording the sound of our keyboard by playing it and recording it and using our computer a bit like a tape deck to create an audio waveform. What we're going to do now when we're playing is we're going to be transmitting our performance data. In other words, what notes we're playing, when we're playing them, how long we're holding them on for, how hard we're striking them and so on. And one way of representing it would be in a grid like this. So there is no sound information here. It is all information about the notes that you've played. What I'm aiming to do in this course is give you a simple glimpse at some of the potentials that MIDI has and some of its uses, and to give you a modest hands-on introduction to working within a MIDI environment. You can then decide for yourself how important MIDI is likely to be for you. Some people want to become absolute MIDI gurus, other people just want to use it as a tool. Now, if you want a lot more background information, I really recommend you visit the MIDI Manufacturers Association website, which is www.midi.org, where there are loads of examples, tutorials, definitions, a lot about the history and so on. But meanwhile, let's roll our sleeves up, look at some quick examples and get started. One very popular way of making use of MIDI is to be able to create your own sheet music. In this software, I've already played the right hand in, and now I'm just playing the left hand. And as you can see, it's actually putting the notes in front of my eyes on the screen. This is a really fun way of interacting with software if you like using notation, and afterwards it's very easy to transpose it, add extra parts, and then print off or publish what you've done. Not everyone's interested in sheet music, so in this example I'm just making a graphical visual recording of what I'm doing. So again, I'm not recording any sound here, I'm just recording the notes that I'm playing and how long I'm playing them for. Then afterwards I can go back and easily move the blocks around, transpose, add extra notes, perfect it. This is an example of a little game that uses MIDI to improve your accuracy. So the idea is that you can play your keyboard and aim for the right notes on the keyboard, a bit like playing Guitar Hero, I guess. This software from FL Studio lets you use MIDI to build up drum patterns and synth loops, and it's possible to create a whole hit song in this. In fact, it's used quite a lot commercially, but it's pretty straightforward to use and is another way of using MIDI depending on the sort of music you're interested in making.